What's up YouTube? For today's video, we have a full X and Y walkthrough team. This one is for Patreon. If you like your theme team down, you can check it out in the description of the video under the Patreon link. Ryan, this one is for you. So pretty much I used the exact Pokemon I used in my walkthrough team all the way back in X and Y. It seems so long ago now, and I made some crazy movesets out of them. Some of them are like extremely unviable and just had all like HM moves, so I did change a couple of things up, but all in all we had some really good battles and hope you people enjoy them. Also leave your X and Y teams if you'd like in the comment section. I want to see how close everyone's teams were, if they were quite similar or very different. That'd be cool. If you enjoy these videos, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Show some support for your boy, your salty boy. And let's get into it. So we got 2 battles today. They're actually really, really good. And I'm very excited to show them. So this is a battle on my Discord. This was against Pickle. And we have a Silvally Steel to lead things off with. I kind of thought they'd go for a Steel type move, but a Rock type move is going to end my Charizard in one shot. So we're off to quite a rocky start, people, and not a very good one at all. So now we're going to go into my Flygon. More on that Charizard set in the second battle. So now we're going to go for a Choice Specs, Fire Blast, almost taking out in one shot, but I get the burn. I was like, okay, this is good. I'm going to get the burn, I'm going to get the KO, but it goes for a parting shot and denies me of my KO. I can't believe it. So it's going to drop all my stats, and it gets off. I can't believe it got off that easy. God damn. Anyway, so we have the next Pokemon come out, which is the Braviaries. Now, since I'm locked into Fire Blast, right, I really can't do too much damage to this. I mean, I'm definitely not going to take it out, and I'm going to sustain a fair bit of damage. So we're going to go into Carnivine. I really didn't have a lot to swap into it. And now we're going to Tailwind here, so that's going to double the speed of all the Pokemon, which is going to be a definite problem. So this was a bulky Carnivine, max health, max defense. We got Bind, Toxic, my favorite healing move, and Elite Seed. Now we got the ability to Levitate, and the item is Binding Band, so that's pretty cool. We're going to do a little bit more damage with the move Bind. So you never ever see this item being used, but it is a pretty fun item. So we're going to actually live that Brave Bird, which was absolutely awesome, and get the Toxic off against Braviary. And it's got some Tailwind, it's not some Tailwind damage. Guys, it's got some Tailwind damage. I'm trying to imagine how Tailwind would actually damage you. Anyway, it's kind of like Hurricane, but a little bit weaker. So anyway, Carnivine goes down to Tailwind, and we got some extra Toxic damage. So now we're going to bring in Frogger. Now this was obviously my starter Pokemon, and I've run this set a couple of times, or very, very similar. So on this one, we got the King's Rock as the item, and we got Water Shuriken. So the idea is to live on 1 health, plug your own merch. It lived on 1 health, people, and then go for the Water Shuriken. However, this time, I thought they may swap and, fearing like an Ice type move, so I went for the Substitute. So now, I'm going to be going for the Water Shuriken with the King's Rock, trying to take them out. So we got Water Shuriken, Sub, as you've seen, it's seen it failed. We got Icy Wind and the Dank Pulse. This is pretty much just a fleeching pain in the butt set. We got the ability as Torrent instead of Protein as well. And of course we got the item King's Rock, as I already mentioned. So now we got the Quagsire coming out here. I was like, oh, how am I going to take Quagsire? I've lost my Carnivine. Not that it had a grass, really, a good grass, or even a grass move to begin with. So I just went for Dank Pulse there, hoping for Fleech. However, Quagsire is going to take me out with a Waterfall. So down goes my Greninja. So I've got 3 Pokemon left at the moment, and I've really only taken out 1. So at the moment, it's quite a one-sided battle. I've got a clutch to get back into this game. Alright, so it's got leftovers, which is annoying too. I'm going to swap into my Farfetch. Now, Farfetch was actually a pretty interesting Pokemon in this battle. This set was absolutely horrible, but very, very fun to use. So we got Max Health, Max Special Defense. We got Curse, Roost, Slash, and Toxic. The ability as Keen Eye and item as leftovers. So this was a bulky Farfetch, people. Anyway, so we got a Rock Slide. Look how well I take that. Look how well I take that Rock Slide. So we got the Toxic up, which is very important on the Quagsire. Now I can go for Roost, right? Roost will actually change my typing, and that Rock Slide will not be very effective. And I'll be able to tank that one, a lot better than before. And then I can just keep going for Curses, or I can just keep going for Roost. At least forcing a swap on the Quagsire is kind of like my one of my main options here. So going for the Roost there, changing myself into a fully normal type. If you guys don't know, that Roost gets rid of the Flying type. And now we got the Quagsire going for the Rock Slide again. Obviously, it's not very super. It's not very super effective. So it only does half my health. Now I can go for another Curse here, or I can really do a big risk and go for Curse. I think I might just live, but the problem is if they do swap out, I won't be at full health, and something could easily come in and take my Farfetch out. So we got the Quagsire swapping out, realizing it just can't take the heat from bulky Farfetch. And of course we got the Torterra coming out. So okay, this is actually not too bad, because I can go for Toxic against this thing too. If I went for the Curse before, I would have been outspared. If it got like a rock type move, I definitely would have gone down to it. However, the Torterra has to go for Toxic because Farfetch is just too bulky, right, people? I can't believe this is... Guys, I can't believe this is working. Anyway, so we got the Toxic up on each other, which is nice. Now, I've got Slash on this. I know that it pretty much is the only move I could put on, or I could fit on this set. Now, I've got the Curse. The idea was to curse up as much as possible, get my, make myself bulky and defensive, and then go for a Slash, which is boosted by all the curses, and maybe get a crit or two if I was really, really lucky. Now, we got the Torterra swapping out here, and we got the Quagsire coming back in. So it's like, okay, this isn't that bad. Even if I lose my Farfetch, I've got a Toxic on 2 really bulky Pokemon. So going for another Roost test. This was a fairly long part of the battle. So we got some more leftovers recovery on the Quagsire here. I can go for a Slash, or I can start going for Curse again. Or I could make a swap and maybe bring in the Farfetch later on. Farfetch has caused a little bit of havoc so far. So we got the Quagsire. I'm guessing it's going to go for Rock Slide or maybe Waterfall to try and flinch me. I wasn't too sure. But we're going to go into Flygon anyway. I thought this would be a nice swap in. I do have Choice Specs on this set, as you guys know, so we'll do some heavy damage to it. However, the Quagsire is going to go for Recover, which kind of sucks. It's like, that's a shame. Now, I was thinking, what should I do? I could go for the Draco Meteor. The only problem about going for the Draco Meteor is it's going to drop my special attack. So let's go for the Earth Power and see how much damage it does. It does some really solid damage, almost taking out Quagsire. Quagsire's going to go for a Waterfall there. Now, Quagsire has to make the option whether to go back into the Torterra to take Earth Power. And, obviously the Silvalley's not going to live that one. It's only on a little bit of health. So I'm guessing, they're going to stay in and let the Quagsire go down. And that actually worked out really, really well. So go for another Earth Power, and that is Quagsire down. I think they may have worked out by that stage. I was Choice Specs judging on the damage that Earth Power did. And now we got the Torterra again. So I was thinking, okay, I could go for Earth Power here and, maybe take them out. Or I could swap back in and then go for Draco Meteor for some more, like a little bit more powerful hit and, maybe sacrifice the Farfetch. Alright, so we got a Toxic here. Also, I was poisoned too, so I thought that could be a good swap in if they do go, for the poison again. So, I can go for, I thought, okay, well, I'm probably not going to live too many, physical attacks from Torterra, so let's go for Slash. Let's get as much damage up as possible, then bring in the Flygon right and, take it out. However, the Torterra is going to go for an Attract. I'm like, okay, it's got Attract. What is this scum? I'm meant to be the one using this scum. Anyway, so the Farfetch is going to get attracted. It's going to fall in love with that little tree on the back of Torterra's back. But it's going to get past and crit, so it doesn't have shell armor. So like, okay. That's interesting. Very interesting. I'd say it's got Overgrow right. Okay, so a little bit of damage to the Torterra. I mean, one more Slash and, a round or two of the Toxic right, that is actually going to go down. So I was kind of getting hopeful. I was like, maybe I should leave my Farfetch for a little bit later on. It's going absolutely awesome. I went to Miltank hoping you'd go for like a grass type move, and it went for Woodhammer. I was like, yes! So with the Sap Sipper ability on the Miltank, that gave me a +1 in attack. Now, this was a physical sweeping Miltank set. I've used this guy a couple of times, and we got Power Up Punch, Facade, Zen Headbutt, and Earthquake. We got the Toxic Orb as the item. So obviously, Toxic Orb is going to power up the Facade, and that is going to do a lot of damage, giving me a +1. Usually, Power Up Punch gives me my +1, and then I start using Facade afterwards. Now, I usually run between Scrappy and Sap Sipper. This time I went with the Sap Sipper. Alright, so we got the Silvalley. Now, this was also Jolly Nature Miltank, so I was running max speed. Miltank is actually a fairly fast Pokemon when you look at its base speed. It's sort of like one of those very underestimating Pokemon in speed. So we got that one down. We got 2 Pokemon remaining. I've got 3 left, so which is awesome. I mean, Farfetch is not going to really be able to do too much, so I'm going to go for like Flygon or Miltank to basically win me this battle. Alright, so now going for Facade, I outspeed the Delphox and do some heavy damage, taking the I don't even know how to say that nickname, the Kyoko out in one shot. I've always been so good at pronouncing things, people. Alright, so Delphox eats the dust, and we got one more Pokemon left, which is the Rhydon. So it's like, okay, even with a +1, +2 it up in attack, I'm not going to be able to take Rhydon out, so let's go for the Power Punch. I'm quite confident I can live like an Earthquake or whatever this Pokemon's going to use. Usually there's a bulky Everlight set that are very, very tanky in defense. However, it's going to have a Hammer Arm. I actually live that one, but the Toxic is going to take out my Miltank. So I've got 2 more Pokemon remaining. Now I was thinking here, I've got Farfetch right, but if I go for Toxic or Rhydon and it's got Rest, that's going to be really bad. So I've got to go into Flygon, and I've got to go for the Earth Power right now. This could be my only moment to be able to do that if it does have Rest, and that is going to take it out in one shot. And that is game. Hope you guys enjoyed this first battle. It was awesome, man. That bulky Farfetch didn't even get fainted the entire battle. So crazy. All right, the second battle we got is against Mullen on my Discord. I usually battle people I'd say almost every day on my Discord. So if you want to check that out, that one is in the description of the video there too. Okay, so this time we're going to lead off with the Flygon. We're going to Shuckle lead. So it's like, okay, this is probably going to be... it's probably going to be fairly stolly. So we're going to go into Carnivine because this is probably the more stolly Pokemon on my team. And we've got the Infestation. So on this Carnivine set, basically the whole idea was to block the opponent in with Bind, get that Bind damage, obviously a little bit more damage due to the Binding Band. We got the Toxic damage flowing as well, and we got the Leech Seed going, so 3 different kinds of damage. So usually once you've set all of them up and you're tanking all the attacks, the opponent really doesn't live, for very long there, unless it's got something like Rest, or it can heal itself up, or it can boost its stats and just take you out before, all the statusy moves kind of end you, or end them. So we got the Infestation. I can't swap at this point at the moment, and Shuckle can't swap either, so it's not all that bad, right? I was thinking I could definitely outlast this Shuckle, depending on what moves it has. So Toxic, of course, is going to miss, and now Shuckle's going to go for the Acro Pressure. Now, Acro Pressure randomly raises a stat 2 stages, which is, it can be fairly crazy there, so depending on what it gets. So I got the Bind up. Look how much damage Bind's doing with that Binding Band. That's pretty impressive. So now we're going to go for the Leech Seed there. I want to get some recovery. I don't want to use my healing move just yet because I don't actually want to reveal that I've got it either. And plus, it's only got 8 PP, so it's not very much compared to something that has Rest or anything along those lines. So getting some more Leech Seed damage off here. I've got Toxic, which is quite important on this set. I've also got the Leech Seed, so I actually wanted to get the Toxic up on it this time and see if it actually did have Rest or not. So Binding Band MVP, look how much it's done! So I could go for the Toxic this turn. I know that I can live whatever attack that Shuckle throws at me. Shuckle is a very passive kind of Pokemon, unless you're using like a crazy power trick run. Anyway, so we got all 3 statuses up against it, and of course it's going to have frickin' Rest. It's like, okay, I kind of guessed it would have Rest. I really had to do all that to see it, though. Alright, so Shuckle was going to go back to sleep there. It's going to heal all its status off. Now, the things it doesn't heal off, however, are the Binding Band, Bind, and the Leech Seed. So, they're still going to be in effect, but with the Toxic, that kind of sped things up a lot, right? So, I'm not sure if this thing's going to have Sleep Talk or if it's just not going to have any, way to wake up at all, except when it wakes up. I could swap something in else after that and take it out. So go for another Bind. I just want to see what it does, and it's going to be asleep. So it clearly doesn't have Sleep Talk or anything like that, which is good. So I was thinking, okay, I got some more damage from the Leech Seed. I got some more damage from the Bind. I could swap in my Greninja now and take it out, or just one of my other Pokemon, before it gets any dangerous boosts up or anything along those lines, because I do not want to be swept by an Acro Pressure Shuckle. So now we're going to go into Frogger. Now, Frogger, as you guys know, has the Water Shuriken. Shuckle's going to be fast asleep this turn. Also, I'm going to get some more damage from the Leech Seed that I set up before. However, since I swapped out the Pokemon with Bind, I'm not going to get that Binding Band down. It almost would have taken it out, So now we're going to go for the Water Shuriken on the Shuckle, and hoping this will be enough to take it out. However, it's got a frickin' berry, being the Enigma Berry. Now, that's a pretty cool berry that only just came out. Oh, not only just came out, but it's a pretty cool berry. So we got the Water Shuriken there. That's my best move. Shuckle's going to wake up and use the Infestation. So thank goodness it didn't use Rest. I would have been pulling my hair out of that stage. I think I would have been able to take it out anyway, but it just would have taken like 1,000 years to take out. So Shuckle's also always like one of those Pokemon that takes forever to take out. So I'm going to get some Infestation damage on my Frogger. They would have seen that I didn't have Protein. I had Torrent instead, so that would have been interesting. So we got the Water Shuriken, and finally, the goddamn Shuckle goes down. It only took how many turns did that take? Like 10 or something? I reckon, I'm just looking at the battle, right? That took almost half the battle to take out that Shuckle. Alright, so the battle starts to speed up real nicely now. So we've got the Torkoal coming out. I really can't go for a Water Shuriken unless I want to try and go for the Scumbag Flinch, so I'm going to go for the Substitute here. Just seeing what the Torkoal's going to use. I mean, they're pretty close. Torkoal and Torterra, they're pretty close. Alright, so we're going to go for the Solar Beam on my Greninja. I kind of guess they go for that, so I just went for the Sub just to see that. Anyway, now I was thinking, okay, I could go into my Miltank here, which has Sap Sipper. That would give me a +1 attack, and then I can freely go for Facade or, the Earthquake against the Torterra, which would be really nice. So into Miltank, hoping they don't go for like an Overheat or Flamethrower. They go for Solar Beam, and it's going to absorb light. Obviously, the Sunshine is up with a Drought. That's going to make the Solar Beam activate straight away and give me a fresh little Sap Sipper. So it was nice to get Sap Sipper in both battles. Alright, so my Toxie is coming to effect. I could go for those full power Facades. So Facade does some pretty solid damage. Torkoal's got very nice base defense, so I always knew that it was going to be a 2-hit KO. So we've got the Fire Blast, the Flamethrower. Now, since I'm not running Thick Fat, I'm running the Sap Sipper. It actually does a lot more damage than I want, and obviously, of course, the Sun's up as well. And Torkoal's got a pretty good special attack. So go for another Facade. Torkoal is going to go down, so I was good burying that Pokemon. And I've got a +1 attack. Now, the thing about my Miltank, I've only got one more turn left, and it's down. It did take a big hit from the Flamethrower. Alright, so we got the Torterra, another very bulky Pokemon defense. Also, we had a Torterra in the last battle too. However, this one is shiny this time. So go for Facade, does pretty good damage to Torterra. It does a lot more than it does. It actually did a lot more to the Torterra than it did to the... Man, they both start with T, alright? Leave me alone. So it's going to use my favorite healing move, get all of its health back, and my Miltank is going to go down, which was unfortunate. So... I was thinking, okay, so I've got my Greninja, which has Icy Wind. That could be good too. You know, what should I do? Or should I set up a Toxic with my Quacklet? I might be able to get some curses up against this thing. Let's see how it goes anyway, I was thinking. So we got the Toxic against the Torterra, and I'm going to land first time, which is always good. Now, Torterra can either go for a Rock Slide or a Stone Edge. That's pretty much all it could do to me, and it's going to go for the Rock Slide on my Farfetch'd. I was running Max Health, Max Special Defense. This the Max Health actually allowed me to live that, so that was pretty good. So sort of a similar predicament in the first battle. Now, I've got Roost on this set, so I thought, okay, I can go for Roost. They'll probably go for Rock Slide again to finish me off, because if they've got Earthquake, it's not going to land. So I'd say they're going to go for Rock Slide. So I went for another Roost here, and I'm going to Roost myself up nicely, and they go for the Wood Hammer. I'm 100% sure they definitely didn't predict that, but, you know, that was probably just another moves that didn't miss. So they thought Wood Hammer would be enough to take me out. Rock Slide could have missed, and I could have, like, healed or something. So I'm guessing that was their thought process at that time, since they didn't see me using Roost earlier on. So now we're going to bring in the Flygon here. I can go for Earth Power to finish this thing off, or I can go for a Fire Blast. Decide to go for Fire Blast since it was super effective, and Torterra is going to go down. That would have been kind of annoying if I did miss that. I would have taken some pretty big damage there. Alright, so now we've got the Blastoise coming out. I cannot stand against Blastoise. I'm locked into Fire Blast, so I've got to swap out. And I was thinking, you know, what should I go into? Should I go into Greninja? Should I go into my Carnivine? Decided to go into Carnivine, so I thought, okay, I might be able to get a Toxic at least up against this thing. However, it's going to go for Ice Beam, which is a problem. So Ice Beam is pretty good against a lot of my team members. It's super effective against Flygon, Carnivine, you know, Farfetch'd. I don't even think Farfetch'd could have... I'm not sure if Farfetch'd could actually even live up. And it's also neutral to Charizard as well. So speaking of Charizard, I'm going to go for the Thunder Punch. This was a Choice Banded Charizard. It hits pretty dang hard with the Thunder Punch there. So Blastoise is going to go for Scald. Charizard's special defense isn't too bad, so I say that's what would have saved me there. On the Charizard, though, we've got Flare Blitz, Aerial Ace, Earthquake, and Thunder Punch. Ability is Blaze, and item is Choice Band, Max Attack, and Max Speed. So pretty good set. And it did like a lot of damage on this one. So we got the... man, more Pokemon that start with T. Turtonator coming out. I went for the Thunder Punch. Obviously, it does, you know, very little damage. I really had to go for the Thunder Punch there. I couldn't do a double swap because Charizard was on such a low amount of health. Alright, so now we're going to go into the Frogger again. And we got a Flame Charge from the Turtonator. So, okay. I really can't do too much damage to this. I'm thinking, if this says Shell Smash... Let's go for Icy Wind and drop that speed in case it does use that. However, it's not. It's going to be a physical set going for the Drag Claw. I wasn't sure at this point, but I thought maybe it could have Shell Smash. Maybe it was like a physical set. Something along those lines. Anyway, so I'm going to swap out my Greninja, and we're going to go in... I mean, my Greninja's going to get fainted, and we're going to go to Flygon, going for the Choice Specs Earth Power, and boy, that takes it out in one shot. So I was glad to get rid of that Pokemon. We still got the Blastoise on 1 health, and we still have one other Pokemon that hasn't come out yet, but I was quite confident I could take both of them out. So now we've got the Blastoise here. Blastoise on a little bit of health here. They may not have realized I'm Choice Specs at the moment, so I'm going for the Earth Power again. That's easily going to take out Blastoise there, and that is down. So I've got my Charizard on a little bit of health left, which I'm probably not too confident against the last Pokemon, because Caracosta can run Aqua Jet, and I was thinking, okay, this is probably going to have Sturdy. Is it going to have Shell Smash? What's it going to do here? Or is it just going to attack me? Anyway, so it's going to go all the way down to its Sturdy. It's going to activate that. I was like, does it have Weakness Policy? What is it going to do? So I was like, okay, it's going to Weakness Policy or Shell Smash. So after I seen the Shell Smash, right, it's like, alright, I don't think I'm going to be able to win this game because it's got a +2 in attack and special attack. It really doesn't matter what it uses, a special or physical attack. I'm definitely probably going to lose. And then it uses Ice Beam. Like, okay, that's another... Oh, man, I was actually looking at my team. It's like, if my Charizard and my Miltank and Greninja went down, if there was an Ice Pokemon, I would have been like... If someone brought like a mono Ice team, I would have been like screwed. Anyway, so we got bring in my Charizard. I know that I'm not going to be able to outspeed this thing. and they're going to go for a Z move right there. Now, apparently, this was a Z bubble. How dare they do that to me? That's what I'm meant to do to people. But I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. They're really fun. Got a cool battle there at the end and some funny bloopers. And I hope to see you people tomorrow. I do have a Pokemon sweep going up tomorrow. It's a good one. And I hope you guys enjoy that one too. It's been a little while since I put it up. I actually get my glasses today as well, so I won't get headaches anymore. So I should be a little bit more active with my uploads. Anyway, people, I'll catch you next time. Peace.